Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sport.
Coach, the weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks standing at 6'5".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Now a first down throw for Newton. It's complete to Fuller. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Dorian O'Daniel, third-round pick in 2018, made the tackle. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do. And we're talking about Jason Kelsey now, not Travis, his brother, who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
You know, when actors get ready for a scene, they often ask the question, what's my motivation? But what's the motivation of this group? What's their mindset? What's the problem that they have? Will they create an identity that allows them to get better?
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons 16.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
To throw again on second down. Newton eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Corey Grant, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick of the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
And he made both sides happy last week, didn't he?
Yeah, 3 and 3.
I mean, his guys, they caught 3 touchdown passes, but he threw 3 interceptions. Gotta get off of that schneid and get back to just throwing touchdown passes and taking care of the ball better.
A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Play action. Ryan. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Here's Ryan. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect.
Last week's contest, 7 catches, 96 yards. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Newton to throw. Boy, stays up. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone can go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Flushed out right. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Back to throw, Newton. And that is incomplete.
How about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They will go for it. Now Newton. A surprising move to predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided there was a time to be aggressive. Now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On second down at 4, Ryan. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's got Sanu. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Get ready. Right 25. 50 seconds. Come on. Switch up. Switch up. Ready to go.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. One man in the backfield, that's Gordon, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
On 3rd and goal, Ryan. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
They'll try and run for it.
Go, 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 run.
He's got daylight. The 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Corey Grant with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. That incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Ryan. His throw incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the outcut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
Here's Ryan to throw. That's complete. It's Gordon. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So here are the Eagles to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Newton on 1st down. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Will Fuller, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here now a look at Melvin Gordon. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Ryan. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Now a look at Will Fuller as he and the rest of the offense gears up to get ready to go again. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing, because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word. Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Elsewhere, a score update from New Orleans. And it's an early lead there for the Saints. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now it's Newton. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 yards and a 1st down for Philly.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
This is Grant. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. A shotgun snap for Newton. Flush to his right. He'll run it. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Their mobile quarterback with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multi-tap.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Newton. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick-6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick-6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
Back to the air. Ryan after the pick six. Able to get this to Gordon. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They run it here with Gordon. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touch. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now.
And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 34. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss. On second down, Benjamin.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Watch the whip.
On third down, Grant. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So first and 10 now from the 30. They'll try the air now with Newton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On second and 10, Newton. He's letting this one go. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Will Fuller with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now Ryan. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And down to the 28-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Gordon. "17 yards and a first down for Atlanta."
They really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. That's complete to Smith. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Shakes off the sag. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Hayward able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Ryan got Gordon open, completes it. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. And they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And his kick here is good. And they knock that deficit down from 29 to 26. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They go back to Grant. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hayward. Fofo's the Mike. Mike's Fofo. Here we go.
From the gun, here's Newton. And he connects with Ertz. 10 yards there and an Eagle 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
3rd and 2, Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. Straight ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Allen on to punt as he gets this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Let's go.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Ryan now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Ryan. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Ryan. Gets it to Gordon. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, Ryan. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. It just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick-6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the pick-6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick-6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. A pass there complete to Sutton. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who have been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Throwing on third down, Newton. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. He's got the first down and more past midfield. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Throwing is Newton. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Grant. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Newton to throw. Steps away to his left. He'll try and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here now a look at Melvin Gordon. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about the 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Ryan. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. He couldn't hook up with a Nunwa that time. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Out of the gun, Newton. And the pressure gets to him again.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Here's Ryan. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. On third down, Ryan. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. That game's gone final, by the way, down in New Orleans. And the Vikings able to take home the victory there. A win, if they can get it, would be their first on the year. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Newton's going to throw it. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On 3rd down, it's Grant, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. They'll keep it on the ground. Grant. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Let's go, fellas.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball.